What's up there, buddy? Now you watching your live this morning. Now you can watch my live. I do lives every time, roughly every time I post a video, and I wait a couple hours after I post it, so that anybody that watched the video is, yeah, you stay. That's right. I'm staying dirty. So I do the live, so in case anybody wants to talk about it, like a couple hours later, kind of helps out by driving traffic. And then my shorts, any shorts that I post, I usually put a link to that most recent video, which is actually, well, yesterday was a dozer video. Everyone's got to go check that one out. And then today was about changing workplaces, kind of like you just did recently. You have been driving for that company for a short amount of time, staying local, which is nice too. But yes, sir. Yeah, staying there. Yeah, that's my little sign out. Like I told you in one of your streams before, I think it was yesterday I first seen you. I've been doing YouTube since 2012, but 2015 is when I took it real serious. 2012 was when I started uploading videos, just like silly stuff, like everyone else. Really wasn't taking YouTube too serious in the beginning of it. Although people had YouTube back in 07, even earlier than me. But anyways, so yeah, I started in 2012 doing it more often, and then like 2015, really, I kind of like focused on it. I haven't been super steady on it, but it's like I said, it's more of a hobby. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, go watch that Dozer one. I actually had I did some different filming, and actually today one of my shorts, I'll flip you around real quick. I put my tripod on one of the auxiliary hoses out there on the excavator, and I strapped it on, and I kind of took everyone for a ride. It's like a 30-second clip, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I like making these videos, and basically I started this second channel off my main channel, Gasoline Garage, which I do automotive mechanic stuff. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the chat. So I started this second channel to separate the content, because I love turning wrenches, and I love this is what I do for my full-time job. And right now, this obviously the last couple months I've been working here. Let me flip you back around so I can show you exactly. You can see the pile right above my bucket. In the last couple months, I've screened all this material. Today's a very, very cold day. Yesterday we had a bad rainy day, so I'm kind of going very, very slow with the screening. And that belt's on like 1. It's just barely dropping in. So anyways, back to what I was saying. Welcome to the channel. What's going on, Silver? I started this channel, this second channel. I have a third one as well, but I don't really post on that, and that's made for kids. That is my family channel, which that probably will not be, it probably won't be pumped out as much as this one, and obviously my main channel. Keep on going on a tangent here, but I started this second channel to separate my content, because I turn wrenches on the other one as a hobby, just like YouTube, and I've been doing that for years, as long as I've been doing this, running heavy equipment. So this channel is based on construction, 100% blue collar work, blue collar lifestyle. Should you get into it, I have a whole series, long form videos. If anyone's interested, go check them out now. Leave the stream. If you check it out after the stream, that'd be great. If you don't, no big deal. If you're not in construction, this is definitely not the live stream nor the page for you. If you have no interest in working with your hands, yeah, beat feet, because this ain't going to be for you. This is not one of the live streams that sign up for people and write their name down on a piece of paper and beg for gifts and likes and all this other stuff and the super chats. I don't even know if I'm going to monetize this channel. My other channel's monetized, but I don't plan. I don't know. Maybe I will, depending on where this channel goes. But this is basically, this channel was put in place to get the younger generation, and I've been saying that for a month now. But it's really anybody that's learning or wanting to change their life up and getting to the trades. Listen, I listen to podcasts, and I'm sure you do, driving truck and stuff like that, or anybody out there. We all have our certain listening, what we listen to. And AI is a real thing. Artificial intelligence is coming for a lot of people's jobs. You see it on the internet. You see it on the news. I don't look into it too much, but I'm hoping this career that I have had, that I've done for 20, what have I been in? 25 years I've been doing this, that I'll have a job till I retire. That's you know, that's the hope and pray about it. But anyways, so yeah, I'm building this channel slowly and organically. I've told nobody about this channel. Not my, I think I mentioned in one short on my main channel. If you want to see construction content like I usually post on Gasoline Garage, it will not be there anymore. It's gone. It's gone. That is strictly for mechanics, car reviews, tools, mechanics, how-to videos, totally separate entity than this. And I was watching some YouTube, I don't know what you want to call them, guru, but they were talking about what's going on, everybody in the chat. If you got any questions about construction, we can run up some questions. I love answering them. I check all my comments and all my long form videos. I even get video suggestions of coming up in the future. But I have a playlist on here about getting into the blue car life, how I started, what to expect. I mean, all sorts of different videos on there. I just dropped one about some of the tools you should have when getting into operating equipment. It's hard to digress on other trades. I know a little bit about it. I can answer some questions on that stuff, but in reality, I'm more, you know, you can see what I'm in. I'm in a cab of an excavator. I'll flip you guys around one more minute. Yeah, no brain rot. My sons talk about brain rot. No, I search through lives, like when I'm bored sometimes, like I sit in traffic or something, or even just hanging out here. That's how I discovered our most recent subscriber in here. He drives a truck. Go check him out. He was right in the chat here. Road to Freedom 11. Go check him out if you're into truck driving. I'm sure he'll start posting more long form videos. Maybe talk about trucking industry. Talk about how he got into the industry. Talk about your CDL license. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not into that stuff of, you know, reaching out for anybody. I'm trying to share my knowledge. I'm not trying to look for anybody's nothing. I'm not trying to do that. But yes, brain rot. My kids talk about that. I think there's a game on Roadblocks called Brain Rot. So yeah, what you're looking at here is a screening plant made by Power Screener. It's a Terex brand. I think it's like a, I don't know what the name is. It is down below. I think it's like a Godzilla. You're welcome, brother. No problem, Road. Yeah, check it out. I like I like blue collar dudes. I like guys that are willing to share their knowledge. And if you grow your channel organically and don't look for them subscribers that are just there to like pump your numbers up. I've been doing it for a long time, 2012. And I know, you know, YouTube has changed over the last 10, 15 years, but yeah, it's totally different and how it all works. And I'm not into the fake stuff, man. I'm super transparent and I'm very transparent. So let me see. Remove. See you later, spammer. No offense, brother, but if you got something good to say, say it. But you did it three times, so have a good day. Anyways, literally, I just said I don't do that nonsense. So enjoy. You know, if you want to stay here and listen, fine, but don't spam the chat, man. Thank you. Language is good here. I don't care what you say. You're on your own. Kids, most kids aren't going to watch this. Like I said, I didn't tell anybody about that. So feel free. But I do like to share my knowledge. So basically, that's what this channel is about. So yeah, that's a screening plant you're looking at. We're sitting in a Caterpillar excavator. It is a 336 zero turn. I have multiple buckets, quick disconnect. Yes, and yeah, we're just screening topsoil. So this stuff actually grows grass. We call it loam. I don't know what other parts of the country call it, but I still haven't figured out. If you look down below, see how the hopper is getting like stuck? I still have to figure out how how to like get that like square and get that right. So, but anyways, yes, sir. Add a question. Your hobbies. Yeah, let's do that. Cool. Start. I don't know. They just say they suggested this, so I'm like, put that up there. If no one wants to answer it, I don't care. Few people popping in and out. It goes from like 15 to 3 to 20 to nothing. So if you're in the chat checking things out, don't be afraid to say hello, where you're from. You don't have to tell me, but it just gives me an idea where my where this stream is going out to. So feel free to ask questions. Yeah, DJ, if you're still here, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I know. I'm good with that stuff, man. You know, I'd rather do the slow grind like I did with my other channel and just like let it happen naturally. And I think that the demographic of people that I'm trying to find already know about that, anyways. They already can smell the BS from a mile away. That's how I. That's my personal opinion. You can tell when you could tell when somebody is you could tell when somebody. I'm gonna get rid of that. You could tell when somebody's being not genuine, not themselves. So. Gamer. Yeah. So, yep. Welcome to the live stream. We posted a video probably about 2 hours ago. I let it marinate on YouTube. Sometimes some of the what's the temp up here? It is 23 degrees. It's cold, man. I'm in New England area up north. Actually, I don't even know if it's starting to snow or that's just the wind. No snow, no precipitation. We had all the rain yesterday. So yeah, it's cold today. So yeah, like I said, I usually do the live streams after I post a video, and the most recent video we posted was, let me get this right. Was it changing workplace? No, I did. I think it was changing workplace and not being afraid of changing your workplace. I guess that could go for like anybody. Realistically, that could go for anybody, not even blue collar. But it basically touches on blue collar world and like not being afraid to change your job. $37, Arkansas. AK's Arkansas, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm in Masshole, Massachusetts. Yeah, if you're 37 degrees, you're warmer than we are. We had a cold front come back last night. It was 48 degrees yesterday. It like iced in the morning. Coming to work was horrible, and then it rained, and then it rained all day. Yeah, 37 degrees. People get comfortable. Don't like change. Yes, that is a big thing. But if you watch that video, I touch on a lot of different things, and people get scared to leave their jobs. So if you go back and look at my videos, my long form videos, when you're just trying to fall asleep or something, or just want a good laugh about some guy with a Boston accent that kind of sounds like the Family Guy, I get that a lot. I sound like Peter Griffin from Family Guy. Oh, negative 37 in Alaska. Yeah, no, I'm good with that, bro. That's all, man. I can't believe you're in Alaska. I watched this guy. I know I'm going on a tangent, but he travels with the Truck House Life, I think it is. He's got an F-350 Power Stroke. I love watching that guy. He's up in Alaska. That guy's crazy. He's got a cabin on the back of his truck. I love it. People get comfortable. Yes, people get comfortable, but people do get complacent. That's a big one. I guess comfortability and complacent can go to the same thing. But complacency can get you in a bad way too. But I think a lot of people are scared. They're scared of the unknown, like closing one door and opening up another. I think a lot of people don't know what they're worth, and they actually need to find some self-worth and actually take some accountability for their time. We're limited. We're all limited on this planet for our lives. That's a fact. It's all coming for us one day. So if you want to stay in a mediocre job, making mediocre money, and getting treated like a pile of cow manure from some boss that doesn't even appreciate you, and he only wants you to work Saturdays and bring that TPS report in, okay? uh, you need to like figure out what you're doing in life. But I've been in construction a long time, and construction industry is much different than white collar world where you work at a business, you go in, back in the 90s and 80s, the water cooler talk shit, all that stuff. But, I think the blue collar world's slightly different when it comes to job hopping. And I kind of touch on that, especially going from non-union to union. You're from Pennsylvania, Jersey, originally, Road. And, there's a lot of unions up here in the Northeast, and Boston, which what I'm out of, is very strong union. And a lot of people are afraid to make the jump, even working for Teamsters. When you work for the Teamsters, driving truck across the country, you're talking about staying away from your family, the sacrifices. You need insurance, dental, health for your family and your kids, a retirement, a 401k. I touch on all that. So, those are all the videos that I get from subscribers like you. And I love to share my knowledge of what I know that I've run into personally in my life. I do not talk beyond what I know personally. Let me flip you guys around to give you a different view. I don't talk about anything that I'm not familiar with, and I give my opinion. You could take my opinion and do what you want with it. You don't have to listen to anything I say. I just talk to let people know this is my experience and what you could expect with certain things, with anything with construction, including running this machine right here. Like right now, I am running, I don't know what's this, $150,000 excavator, right? I'm running another, this has got to be close to $350,000 setup. I know that sounds crazy, but the stacker, the plant and everything is probably a small house up here in New England to buy. And back in the day, $300,000 to buy you, would buy you a house. But there's a lot of money to be had, and be responsible for. So that's something to think about when you get into this industry. Facts. I left my Teamsters job to move to Houston. See, so right then and there, I'm sure there's some things you can speak on, and that's a cool avenue to talk on when you get on those live streams or start doing I'm not telling you what to do, bro. You do you, man. I found you and I hung out for long enough. You got my attention, so you're doing something right, which is awesome, bro. But that'd be something for you to do to think in the future and make a series about, like, how do you get into trucking? How do you get your CDL? What courses do you have to take? You have to go to school now, which I already know all these. But some kid that's 18 years old getting out of high school might not know. You have way more knowledge on the trucking industry than I do. I have my CDL. I've driven truck before, hence why I'm in this industry. But I fell in love with this right here, what you're looking at your screen on your YouTubes. I love this. It's like I never left the sandbox, and I enjoy it. And I have a passion for doing this stuff, For crying out loud, I'll swing you around. Let me dump this little bit left in here. The belt's going real slow, which is nice. Actually, I really can't go much faster. It's pretty wet material. But, even on my board, you know what I mean? Like, there's the dozer I was running yesterday. It's blocked by this pile of rock that I'm picking out. But this is all stuff that you learn years of doing it. Anyways. Yeah, like a Teamster's job. Well, it all depends on what you're working and who you're working for, being part of that union. That union is huge. It's massive. It's the whole country. It's across the whole United States, including Alaska. It looks like one of the person that just came in here. What's his name? Son Joy is from Alaska. Negative 37 degrees, man. Good luck with that one. I don't want your heating bill, but yeah, so that those Teamsters and most unions have a lot of good benefits, and a lot of people know that, but they don't know the avenues how to get there. And I've explained that in videos too. But I can always answer questions here on live streams because some people find the live stream by doom scrolling through the live streams to find something that's interesting, and they may hang out for a couple minutes and ask a few questions. But it's nice to at least give them a general idea why I do what I do. If that makes any sense to anybody out there. I reached out to the Teamsters in Houston, and they didn't get me a job. Yeah, that would leave a bad taste in my mouth. You know, I wonder if you can contact them, let them know the union number that you were part of, where it was, and maybe you have, if you have anyone from back home that can help you out, like a business manager or a BA for your certain town or a shop steward or something like that. You know, it's tough, man. I've been in the union for 10 years, and I've said in videos, and I'll say it here to you and anybody else in this live stream, that what you put into your job, and I'll speak on the union part of things, what you put into your union is what you get out. So if you just come to work, show up, don't know anybody, don't communicate, hence why I love YouTube. I can talk to a goddamn camera for hours and not even do live streams. I can talk to a regular camera and like you're talking to somebody. You're always got to be remembering you're talking to somebody. And when it comes to real life stuff, in order to network and communicate with the right keys and the right people that are put in place to help you out, to push you into the union, man, I was the best choice I ever made. But again, you have to put in some effort to get something out of it. It's not like, I don't know, what's that old saying from Uncle Sam? It's not what you can do for your country or what you can get out of your country. Or what is it saying? It's not what you can do. It's not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Dude, that goes fixing my tripod up here from this morning. This is my tripod I use in the garage. I love it. And the thing's kind of like bendy, like a Stretch Armstrong. I put it on that excavator bucket. That came out. That was a pretty cool short. But yeah, that goes verbatim for life, man, with the Uncle Sam shit from joining the Army. And you got to put in, you want to get something out of something, you got to put a little effort in. Just like anything in life. So the avenues I've created for myself have set me up for success, as far as I'm concerned. There you go. Good old chasing the dog's ass. Good old Mac. I don't even know what it is. I think they call them granites now. Can't beat a Mac, dude. I don't care. Listen, I love Peterbilt's. Weston Stars actually are my favorite over a Pete, to be honest with you. The Canadian, what is it called? The Canadian Peterbilt, Weston Star. And then Kenworth's, you know, they're all good trucks. But I'm telling you right now, if I ever went out on my own, which I don't think that ever is going to happen. I got 20 years of putting in this career because I love it. I'd buy a Mac in a heartbeat. I'd go buy a Mac triaxle, and that's what I would do. No, I do not. To answer your question, Joe, I do not own the excavator. Always wanted one. I have no use for it. I'd have to get a mini, nothing this big. No. I work for a union based out of Mass. So all the way across the map for you from Alaska. And I'm in a union, and it's operating engineers. Actually, they might even be up in Alaska in some capacity up there. Hopefully I'm not yelling. It's a really bad habit of mine, and I have this mic. So if the audio is overmodulated, that's my fault. I got to learn to not yell. Sorry about the alarm. I'll shut it off in a second. So no, I do not own the excavator. I did a cool video on the D6 yesterday. That was fun. I don't run it as much as I need. I really don't need to run it that much. So just going to give the hopper down below over here a little nudge. Nope. But I run just about any type of dirt equipment that you can think of. All of it. Loaders, dozers, excavators, great alls, skid steers. Nope, this is not a mining. This is actually a processing conveyor system you're looking at right now through your screen. This is topsoil. This is to grow grass. Never done mining. I'm not in the right part of the country to do mining. There's no mining in New England. We have too many hills, mountains, and rivers and lakes and the ocean. So a lot of construction companies are out here in New England. I mean, a lot. From privatized to unionized and everything in between. But yeah, currently I've been 10 years. I've been in the union, and like I said, my channel is basically put out there to help the younger generation not be afraid of using their hands and getting into the blue collar lifestyle. And I actually see a trend actually happening that more kids are looking more towards this because of college. The more transparency that these kids get from the internet about college, it opens up people's eyes. Well, I should say the kids at least. Um, yes, yeah, we do well, bud. But you got to think now. So it's all relative, right? So the money I make is actually online. You can go right to the international operating engineers and then look up Boston. You can find all our stuff is it's all open to the public. Um, but yes, but you got to remember it's all relative. To live here in this part of the country is very expensive. And actually, Road to Freedom can contest to that. He's a New Jersey native. He does not live there no more. But living in the New England area, I guess you can call Jersey New England in a roundabout way. New York, Jersey, Pennsylvania is kind of getting more western, east-west. I don't know what you want to call it. But it's very expensive to live in this region. My paychecks are online. Yeah. Well, yeah, my paychecks, my personal information is not online. But the whole general wage schedule, like the wage, is online. It's all free to the public to look. Yeah, more north, more expensive. Yeah, I guess that's why you moved down to good old Texas. Man, I've been watching that Landman. I'm way late to the Landman, and I love Billy Bob Thornton as an actor. It's pretty good, pretty good. Second season's kind of slow. Whatever, but it's pretty amazing to see what down in Texas. I told my wife, I says, if we ever move to Texas, I'm gonna go buy myself a drill rig. I'm gonna run the drill rig and man it. Oh hell yeah, go drill for oil. But yeah, it is expensive up here. It is everything, man. Mortgage rates. Well, the rates went down, but mortgages, heating bills, just the cost of living is expensive, man. So yeah, we make good money, but and I don't care what you say, all of us, even people that can't afford, well, we all can't afford what we buy, but you go buy that brand new Duramax or something, we all live beyond our means. We all do. And it's all part of America. So, yeah, I've heard. So my buddy was stationed out there. Well, it was my brother's, get my water, I'm thirsty. I'll put it outside, keep it cold. He was stationed out there? I think so. He was in the Army. He was a Marine. I called him Ed the Egg, wobbly egg, because he couldn't throw a football straight. So the football would go through the air like an egg. Wobbly egg. And he was stationed out there years ago. He's since been out. And he said a bag of Doritos was like $10. I'm like, Ed, a bag of Doritos was $10? I go, you kidding me? And this is probably back when you can get a bag of Doritos for like $3. So I'm not exactly sure where he was stationed, Joe, but yeah, it's crazy. And I didn't even ask. I don't think he was even drinking beer back in the day. So, but he just told me about the Doritos, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, I wonder, different parts of the country. Like, there's a lot of people. I know a lot of YouTubers, man. Like I said, I've been doing YouTube for a long time, and I'm doing like these like hour-long live streams. And most people would be aggravated that they're not making any money. And that's the wrong way to look at YouTube. YouTube is a tool, just like everything else on the internet. And I don't like that people don't realize that. This is a tool for communicating, getting out information. You got to sift through it, that's for sure. 100%, you got to sift through the BS, because it tons of it. And, I like sharing. I forgot where I was going with that, but more expensive. Yeah, I don't know. I was just going off a tangent. I do that a lot, and I yell, and I shouldn't yell because I got this new mic, and I picked it up. I should have bought it years ago from my other channel. It would have helped me out tremendously when I'm under the hood of vehicles or crawling underneath. I can leave my phone in the tripod. But yeah, that's how I feel. But yeah, he was stationed out there for a little while. I had a buddy stationed out in Yuma, Arizona, too. Never asked about what things cost, though. But I'm sure moving down south, it's slightly cheaper. Oh, what I was going to say, I've been doing YouTube since 2012. I lost my train of thought. I got it. That a lot of people are moving to Tennessee. I noticed a lot of people that I've been following on my mechanic side, like Vice Grip Garage. I love that dude. and he's moved out to Tennessee. There's another group of kids that I used to watch and they used to do in the backyard, the Goon Squad. They're in Tennessee. Cletus McFarland's down in Florida. But I don't know. I don't know what it is about the southern. Well, first of all, you ain't got winter, which helps out. You ain't freezing like you are, Joe, in Alaska, and I am here, 22 degrees. You're negative 37. You got me beat by a long shot. But you got people that live in the southern states don't have to deal with the snow. So that's a plus. And I'm sure there's different states that don't have income tax, and they're trying to utilize whatever forms of way of saving on the taxation to move into a certain different part of the country. And I think Tennessee has something. I think Tennessee has a much different standard for taxes for income, and maybe potentially registering vehicles. I could be wrong, but from Tennessee and stationed in Alaska right now. Tennessee's booming right now. My hometown has doubled in size. Yes, and I've heard Texas is doing the same exact thing. Texas and Tennessee, yeah. But you know what though? With that boom comes change, and then change comes different laws and regulations that the state has to put in place because they didn't have the surplus of population. So you might see a little bit of changes coming out of there. But yes, dude, I see tons and tons of people. I shouldn't say tons. I see people that I follow on the YouTubes are moving there in other states, literally going from Minnesota to a climate that never sees snow. And I can't blame them people for leaving, but there's something about New England if you've never been to this part of the country where you have all four seasons. You have fall, winter, you have them all. Fall, winter, spring, and summer. Well, spring's kind of changed now, but you definitely have summer and winter. So I keep flipping back to keep it interesting for anybody that's watching. So I'll show you what I'm doing here, not just spinning around in circles. Yeah, see how fast it fills up, though? It's all right, though. At least we're screening something. So you don't have to get personal if you're still in here, my man. Alaska Joe. That's what I'm going to call you. Military, I'm assuming? Military branch? I've had two good friends that were Marines. I never joined. Remember back in high school, they had recruitment. I always used to see them in the cafeteria. And I never joined. Thank you for your service, my man. That's a thankless job to do. I don't care if a kid's lost and doesn't know what they want to do with their life or their career, whatever they're doing in their life, and they join the service. It makes people better. I don't care what they say. Let alone politics. I don't talk about politics on any of my channels, but, keep that aside. You're doing the right thing for your country. So, thank you for your service. Yes, and I do smoke cigars, which is a bad habit. Flip around. Try not to do it on camera. Backwards. Bad habit. Nicotine. I don't do pouches. I don't smoke those douche flutes. That's what I call them. Hope that doesn't get flagged. Probably will. The vapes. I don't do none of that. I never touch a cigarette in my life. Never, 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 never. You're in a pat. That's badass. Man, that's cool. Well, you might like my other channel, my man. My main channel. I don't know how to leave a link in here, but it's Gasoline Garage. Actually, I don't want to mess up the live stream. I gotta stop yelling. I got a very loud voice. If you leave the live stream and if you go to the channel page, there's a link in the description of this channel for my other channel. So feel free if you want to. If you don't, you don't. But I do a lot of educational videos over there with mechanic work. I don't have Snap-on, so no Snap-on stuff. Not really. I take that back. I have a set of wrenches and screwdrivers. Most of my stuff is Harbor Freight, and actually I got to go to Harbor Freight soon. I got to pick up Icon. Dropped a couple things. I want to get one of those magnet mats, and then I want to pick up. I did a stupid thing. I bought one socket at Lowe's, which is Craftsman. and I wanted to replace my 22 millimeter socket. And I told the wife, I got to run up there real quick. And I'm like, I'm sitting there in the Home Depot store, whatever, Lowe's, and like, why am I buying? And I bought the socket for $11. I'm like, why did I just do that? $70, you can get a whole set, half-inch drive impact wrench icon from Pittsburgh, from Harbor Freight. So I got to go there. I got to go there eventually. Money never ends, dude. Bills, bills, bills. Especially around the holidays. So Apache mechanic. Holy moly, man! I can only imagine like what goes into that. I knew of a guy that worked at an oil company, and he was in the service. But even when he worked for a refinery up in Maine, he had his toolbox, and they had foam like in each drawer, and they were cut out. A wrench, a screwdriver, whatever his tools were, but they were all foam cut out. So at the end of the shift, he can go back in his drawer and make sure all his tools will put back into the foam cutouts. I go, what's that for? And he goes, well, first of all, organization, obviously. I knew that, but I was just curious, like, why do you, it's like almost like a checklist you have to do every night to make sure there was nothing left in like, whatever he was fixing, like the motor or whatever, and whatever he was fixing to make sure a tool wasn't not put away. I'm like, holy moly! I said, that's a good checklist to have. That piece of foam in the toolbox. Yeah, buddy. This stuff is still pretty wet though. You know what helps? Actually, the cold weather actually helps dry it out with the wind, but it's still pretty wet. Ugh. Ugh. What do we got? One more day and then New Year's Eve. You know what I'm doing for New Year's Eve? Nothing. Going home and staying safe. I haven't been out New Year's Eve in almost 10 years. Never was a fan of doing that. My father always told me at a young age, nothing good happens after midnight. Never mind on New Year's Eve. She's flowing. She's a flowing. Slow and steady. Stuff's frozen in the bucket. Wet. Yeah, this yard's huge. Concrete over there with rebar. So that's up that ramp. And then we have asphalt, tore up asphalt up there. But yesterday I was up in the dozer doing some work. And then this morning I was up on that plateau where you can see right, I'll put the teeth for the screen, but right there, I was sitting up there this morning. I cut down 2 feet all the way off the top of that shelf and put a huge windrow down below. And I'll probably move it tomorrow, but I'd probably do some more screening tomorrow. Hopefully the wind dies down too for tomorrow. It's really, really cold out. The wind chill makes it, I think it's colder than 22. Obviously, with the wind chill, it makes it feel even colder. Slow and steady today for sure. Sure. Too cold to go nuts. Oh! What are some of these things? Let me see. What's this? 49-second short was uploaded to your channel as unlisted. Oh, okay. Thank you. What's this? Retouch on. Oh, oh, filters. Get out of here with that. What's a green screen? I don't want that. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let me see here. What can I put back there? That's kind of cool. I can put myself back there. That is kind of funny. uh, my Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas tree. That's funny. You can do it live streams. Can I flip it though? Oh, no, you can't. All right. No green screen. That's pretty funny. What's this right here? What's this button do? Lighting on, light off. No, don't need that. What the hell's this thing? No, I don't need none of that. No effects. Good. Even though the bucket and the screen implant though. Keep doing lives. Wow. Wow. The winds. She's whipping. I gotta go get a sensor. I gotta call to see if I can pick that up. For the GP. Well, looks like nobody's coming in here, so we're going to end live stream. Again, the trials and tribulations of having a small channel, but you got to keep plugging. Stay dirty.